Understanding the big tech landscape is key to understanding our digital privacy challenges. The last 25 years have seen an explosion of digital innovation. Following the late 90s dot-com gold rush, the dot-com crash at the turn of the millennium was the start of what became a substantial market consolidation. From an early level playing field, companies such as Amazon, Google, Facebook, Netflix, Airbnb, and Uber have grown to dominate most of the traffic on the internet. The capability of these big tech companies to innovate and rapidly expand globally has been remarkable and on many levels admirable. The stuff of business school case studies and even sociological studies. Taking lessons from the offline software industry that came before it, the tech giants played to win, in what turned out to be a winner-takes-all market. And in the words of Peter Thiel, founder of PayPal, win meant build a monopoly. The network effect played a large part in big tech rising to monopoly positions. The more people that used a platform, the more useful the platform became, and the more brand recognition it achieved. The big tech businesses are now some of the most valuable brands in the world, with Apple at number one position. The power of network plus brand can be demonstrated by Wikipedia, the not-for-profit anomaly. Wikipedia is one of the most visited websites on the internet, but its terms and conditions allow you, surprisingly, to download a full copy of Wikipedia and put it on your own website if you wish. It's testimony to the power of the online network plus brand effect that such an act is unlikely to have any impact on Wikipedia's ongoing success. I expect it would be the same situation for the commercial big tech brands, but their T&Cs are unlikely to give you the opportunity to find out anytime soon. As innovative as the big tech companies have been, much of their success can be attributed to the venture capitalists that funded their growth. The US venture capital machine brought its full game to the internet business opportunity and has funded US tech companies to the tune of approximately $80 billion per year. Interestingly, Bono, the lead singer of the group U2, was also the lead investor of a group that made more money out of buying early shares in Facebook than Bono made in 30 years singing with U2. Less glamorous, but more strategically aligned with US economic interests, the CIA is also a major investor in internet businesses via its venture capital arm, In-Q-Tel. In-Q-Tel is particularly interested in supporting big tech businesses, businesses that aggregate data and analyze data on citizens. And the reason venture capitalists have poured money into internet businesses is that internet businesses are fundamentally software companies. And software, to quote Marc Andreessen, founder of Netscape, is eating the world. The upshot of this is that in the near future, every company will either become a software company or will go out of business. Or another way of looking at this, and which seems to be playing out due to strategic and operational realities, is that a few software companies will move into and take ownership of every other business. And it just so happens that today, 86% of the world's software industry are American companies. And that is a big, once-in-a-century money-making opportunity for US venture capitalists. And the tech business strategy of get big quick or go home is certainly succeeding. Google has risen to monopoly-like positions in at least 12 separate business verticals, including search, maps, mobile, video, translation, education, office suites, file storage, online advertising, and email. Its market reach is such that there is Google code in an estimated 94% of all mobile apps and 85% of all websites. And Google, now under the umbrella of its new parent company Alphabet, is showing no signs of a slowdown in ambition. Owning the artificial intelligence market is of particular interest, and Google has spent $4 billion acquiring 30 AI businesses in the last 10 years. Given the data and funding at Google's disposal, it has a winning advantage in most digital markets it chooses to enter. And the power behind Google's advantage is the power of free. After their early skepticism for selling advertising, founders Sergey Brin and Larry Page brilliantly turned their advertising engine on industry after industry that had historically relied on direct consumer sales. And as companies struggled to become software, Google seized their opportunities. And consumer behavior changed from paying for products to expecting advertisers to purchase their products for them. Big tech can broadly be divided into two business models. One is where you are the customer, i.e., you pay for the product or service and are treated as the customer. Apple, Amazon, and Microsoft fall mostly into this category. Apple makes 80% of its revenue from hardware sales, mostly iPhone, and 15% of its revenue from digital content services like iTunes. Amazon makes 80% of its revenue from retailing and 11% from web services. And Microsoft makes 43% of its revenue from Windows and Microsoft Office and 24% from cloud hosting services. The other big tech business model is where you are the product. Google Alphabet makes 86% of its revenue from selling advertising, and Facebook makes 99% of its revenue from selling advertising. The most attractive clients to Google and Facebook are the big budget advertising agencies of the world's largest consumer brands, such as Coca-Cola, Samsung, McDonald's, or Toyota. Companies that spend billions on advertising each year. But it's the long tail of lower budget clients with more niche products and services that actually make the most of Google and Facebook's operational goal, which is to acquire as much data about you as possible so that advertisers can deliver increasingly more targeted messaging to you, based on your perceived personal needs and wants. And to get the data from us, two goals are given top business priority. One, make products as easy to use as possible. And two, make content as sticky as possible. Sticky being the big tech term for addictive. And Google and Facebook are masters at both of these disciplines. And the more data they get, the more stuck we become. And big tech not only wants your data, but it wants you to reveal as much data about your family, friends, and contacts as possible. These connections are known to big tech companies as your social graph.